Entertainment is...
Entertainment?
Someone bigger than me.
Madness. Thank you for leaving them alone.
My job is to be an actor.
Make them laugh.
Make them laugh.
Make them cry. That makes you angry.
How can you be so damn dumb?
I see it as a business.
Who's ready to do a talk show?
But the totality is entertainment.
Can we take it out, please? Thank you.
In an age of entertainment driven by $100 million budgets, state-of-the-art special effects, mass promotion and global media saturation, there remains one form of entertainment unchanged since the origins of human speech. It's live, it's done standing up, and it's happening in a comedy club near you. There's a hunger for humour. The live comedy business has been growing, and nowhere faster than in London, the epicenter of a burgeoning and lucrative jokes trade. On any given night in dozens of venues, you can hear upwards of 5,000 punchlines.
And my art plays the banjo.
Turns out your own mother was trying to kill you.
Hitting or missing.
I'm here tonight to talk about skin.
Their mark.
Apparently,
stand-up comedy is an exercise in how to hold an audience of whatever size in rapt attention with nothing but imagination and a mouth. Hence the live entertainment equation. Talk is cheap, leisure money is plentiful. Together, they equal a comedy explosion.
We replaced bands. All of a sudden, you didn't have to hire 5 or 6 people. You could hire one person. They required no equipment, just one crummy mic and a lousy PA. It's cheaper than putting on strippers. You get a better clientele. People drank anyway. It became a really economically sound thing to do.
But why do comics do it standing up?
Up until Victorian times, most comedians either sat down. They brought these little like hassocks with them. Hassock being a word kind of like Cossack, but the hassocks were before the Cossacks. The Cossacks usually swept down from the north, and the hassocks came up and often battled the Ottomans for control of the furniture empire. Whoever was in control of the hassocks or the Ottomans would require the comedian sat on these very tufted, cushiony things. And then somebody went on one night at one of these sit-down clubs, and maybe he lost his hassock, maybe they just didn't have one, and he stood up, and suddenly that revolutionized comedy as we know it.
Crouch sometimes. Crouching is good, but standing mostly, yeah.
The stand-up comedian doesn't stand still for long, but is forever on the go. The limousine arriving to collect legendary American comedian Jackie Mason from his plush Dorchester hotel suite, the hired car of longtime Greg Proops tour manager, and the London taxi waiting at Irish newcomer Ed Burns' Finsbury Park digs are all the transport required to deliver the entire entertainment package to the gig. Forget roadies, stagehands, dressers, sans props, sans sets, sans special effects. Stand-up comedians travel with everything they need in their heads. The comic is a freelance, self-employed, small business person with no bosses or unions.
We're not going to be late.
The pure, streamlined, essential entertainer.
Saddle up.
Yes, sir.
There are no funny costumes, no grotesque masks, no silly hats, no enormous shoes, no kooky names, no rabbits, no exploding cigars.
All right, mate. Hampstead, yeah?
The Palladium then, Mr. Mason?
I know. Right, number 3 at the Bloomsbury.
No telltale signs of their chosen profession.
So what do you do for a living?
Stand-up comedian.
Really? What, full-time?
Yeah. Well, as full-time as you can be when you're a comic. You only have to work about 5 hours a week.
But these are intense hours, widely dispersed.
I mean, I've got this gig now tonight, and now I've got to go and get another cab out to East Dulwich later on.
So it's all or nothing? You got 2 tonight and sort of nothing tomorrow?
I'm in Cambridge tomorrow, and then I've got nothing until the following Friday.
Greg Proops hits London on the last leg of a 6-week tour.
Proops is slicker than an oil spill off the Welsh coast. His fast-talking style, and this was the hilarious one, Rampton is hilarious. His fast-talking style could leave all donkeys within a 50-mile radius without hind legs. If there's a caveat, it's that despite the skillful delivery, some of Proops' material has a familiar ring to it. Does the world really need more jokes about the awfulness of the service in British restaurants? My answer, Jawohl.
Yes. Oh yes, my friend.
Oh yes, my friend. Until it improves, there needs to be a flurry.
So what makes people want to be entertainers then, do you think?
I love performing. I'm an egomaniac like every other performer. They pretend that they like to bring happiness to people, like politicians who say they like to serve people, they like to give something back to the people. It's all crap. And nobody ever became a comedian because he's trying to bring happiness to people. He's trying to bring cash to the bank. That's what he's trying to bring.
I mean, it's a fairly difficult business to get into, but there's a fairly well-defined career path.
Every comedian, every actor thinks he's God's gift to the universe because they take some kind of a sick egomania to go into this business in the first place.
You know, if you want to get established on the London circuit, you just phone up all the different comedy clubs and ask, can you come down and do 5 minutes for nothing?
Everybody throws you out of every office and you keep going.
It's called like an open spot. And you go down and you just do 5 minutes and you don't get paid.
Everybody tells you to drop dead and you keep dancing.
And if you go well, then they invite you back and to get you to do 10 minutes.
And singing and laughing and joking.
That's called a half spot. And if that goes well, they invite you back to 20 minutes, and that's a full set.
Then you're one of scores of comedians playing dozens of clubs on the London circuit.
Tim's just dropped out for the weekend, so we need to find a replacement.
Who else can we use, do you think?
Hi, it's Norma, John Rez here.
And then once you're doing like 20-minute sets in all the clubs, that's you pretty much, you know, a circuit comic like that.
They start inviting you, I suppose.
Exactly, yeah.
And when you're first starting and you're just doing joints, I think your only goal is to get to better joints or to get more work. I don't think you ever think, one day I will, you know, I will be the president of show business. And I think you just think, God, if I could do this 3 times a week, you know, then I'd really be happy.
Then you'll be delirious with 5 times a week on a 36-date national tour, apart from the niggling anxieties about filling each venue.
Yeah, and I was thinking about the difference between the first night and last night and the size of the audience.
So do you reckon this show will go well tonight? You got a big crowd?
Well, we'll just have to see, because, I mean, the football can affect it, you know. If everybody's been out getting tanked up during the day, then we could get a very noisy, very rowdy crowd.
First night when it's full up. Really good crowd, really good show, really exciting, very uplifting, blah, blah, blah. Excellent review. Last night, empty seats. It was like jokes dropping into those sort of like vacuous spaces, and they just got sucked up. They seemed to disappear into nothingness.
Well, it makes it easier for people not to laugh when there's
space beside it.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you, all the pubs that I've been past this afternoon was very rowdy already, so I think you've got a rowdy night ahead of you.
Yeah, although Hampstead Comedy Club shouldn't be too much of a worry.
I've worked in every kind of a dump there is. I've worked for all kinds of audiences. I work sometimes for 10,000 people. It doesn't make any difference to me how many people are there.
Jackie Mason's earned his nonchalance, arriving fresh from New York, where he's established the longest-running, biggest-selling one-man Broadway show in history. Over a 40-year career, the rabbi-turned-comedian has seen his annual income grow to a cool $5 million and has developed a broad fan base.
I was told that the Queen Mother is very crazy about me. Last time I worked there, she started to talk like me. After the show, she said, well, you wasn't that good, but it was pretty good.
At least he gets royal recognition.
Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
How do you do? I'm Jackie Mason. I'm playing it
that's fine. No problem at all. It's just that I don't recognise you.
It's going to be good tonight.
It is going to be.
Feel it in the air.
Me too. Halloween, man. And they say that it was on a night like this that Jack the Ripper took his first victim.
The rehearsal's happening in your head. The only thing to do is to check compliance with contract riders for dressing room facilities.
Last night's sandwiches are here.
The 2 things a comic needs, the main 2 things, more than anything else, this you want to see. Seen and heard.
What is in here? Something for nothing?
Can you see me? Can you hear me? Dayton cream cheese, I think.
Jesus. Oh, it's terrible chocolate.
After that, it's up to you, you know. People who are inexperienced at staging comedy think that comedy is just is wallpaper, or that anybody can do it, or that it's just a guy saying jokes. They don't get that it has to be the right lighting, that there has to be a microphone, you have to be able to hear them.
Is that a bit pingy?
I think it is.
Yeah, pip.
You'll go to a comedy gig that's not developed, or a private gig that, oh, we want to have a comic and we heard that's funny now. When let drive a springle to the punter in a paw. And they'll put you in the corner in the dark with no microphone. Try to cover off the ball. Do your thing, isn't that what you do?
Sometimes you're performing at a bar mitzvah, everybody's chasing the chopped liver. The people at a bar mitzvah, when there's a contest between jokes and food, no Jew is going to pick the jokes. Chopped liver is always a bigger hit than Jackie Mason. It's the wrong place for a comedian.
That's the thing about comedy, it's like holy in context. A comic at a funeral is not so funny. I mean, to use the most blatant example, you know. But it could be with the right lighting and a good microphone, you know.
And just about enough room to swing a cat.
It's a very, very intimate gig. The audience is right up on top of you, and which sometimes can be a little bit unnerving.
It's very much a no-frills kind of club. It's compare 3 acts, no food, people drink. Good evening and welcome to the Hampstead Comedy Club.
And welcome to any spare space designated a comedy zone either by a simple notice pinned to a pub window, a few plush chairs in an East End dive, or a shiny new corporate logo for a purpose-built comedy chain expanding across the country. And anyone can start one, from ambitious empire builders like Maria Kempinska to ex-cons, like Malcolm Hardy, now deified as London's godfather of comedy.
I got into stand-up comedy by accident. I'd just come out of prison, and I ended up being a Punch and Judy man.